Stugotz here, guys. Mother's Day is coming up pretty quick. Whether it's your mom, your wife, or your sister, all moms need to hear they are appreciated and know that they are loved. So, show how much you care to the lady who taught you everything you know about caring with a Hallmark card. From sweet to sentimental to laugh out loud funny, Hallmark has a card that'll help you put your love for mom into words and let her know how much she matters. It's your way of saying thank you for all the sleepless nights and selfless acts of love. Go out and find the perfect Hallmark Mother's Day card today. You can find them wherever Hallmark cards are sold. Stugotz here. Are you hiring? Every business needs great people, and a better way to find them, something better than posting your job online and just praying for the right people to see it. ZipRecruiter knew there was a smarter way, so they built a platform that finds the right job candidates for you. ZipRecruiter learns what you're looking for, identifies people with the right experience, and invites them to apply to your job. These invitations have revolutionized how you find your next hire. In fact, 80% of employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. And ZipRecruiter doesn't stop there. They even spotlight the strongest applications you receive so you never miss a great match. The right candidates are out there. ZipRecruiter is how you find them. Businesses of all sizes trust ZipRecruiter for their hiring needs. And right now, our listeners can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/Dan. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Dan. ZipRecruiter.com/Dan. One more time. It is ZipRecruiter.com/Dan. Try it for free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Amin Elhassan in with us today. He was just talking before the microphones went on about Tom Hardy's new movie. I will watch just about anything that Tom Hardy is in, but I have not heard the details. Amin was starting to tell me an Al Capone late in life film where Tom Hardy doesn't look very much like Tom Hardy.
Not at all. He's shaved his head. He gained a lot of weight for this role. He has a prosthetic nose. The name of the movie, I believe, is Fonzo. Is it Fonzo, Mike?
Neil Brennan is playing Al Capone's attorney in that movie.
Wow, see?
So a serious role or a comedic role?
No, it's a serious role. This is a big star turn for Neil Brennan.
Neil Brennan is playing he's just acting straight. He's not doing anything in the way of comedy.
This would appear to be a drama.
Okay, I don't know anything about this movie. You've mentioned it a couple of times, the new Thomas Hardy project.
Thomas Hardy.
Yeah, that's weird. No one
Thomas Hardy.
Weird.
Yeah.
I know Al Capone's usually a barrel of laughs, but this is, believe it or not, is a drama.
So you've got nothing for me on more information?
I do. That? I've got plenty. What are you talking about? I've been
That's what I was asking you for, not the third time to explain to me that it's not a comedy run.
Yeah, I just told you. Neil Brennan's playing his attorney in it. That's a big role for Neil Brennan. He doesn't get dramatic roles like this.
Why are you so surprised by this, that Neil is doing a serious role? It seems like I don't know, do you think he can't handle it or something?
No, not at all. Why would you go straight to the cynical place? I just like when people challenge themselves. I've been watching the Zen Diaries of Gary Shandling, where he would just sort of end projects in the middle of the success. He would just turn around and walk away. Neil Brennan he's the co-creator of the Chappelle Show. He's had a lot of success with comedy. And then he did a recent stand-up show where it was part comedy, part therapy. It was 3 mics. And so this is an interesting transition for him professionally. He's also been, as a comic, deeply unhappy in a way that's been very public. And so maybe he needs something else that feels like it's creatively stimulating.
Well, I think the weird thing is Neil Brennan hasn't had many acting roles, period. Think of a comedic role he's played in. I can't. So for him to have his first big movie role to be a dramatic role, that's a big deal.
That's always who did that most successfully, because Robin Williams, I guess he would be the one, right?
No. Jim Carrey, easily. He went from silly dude who talks out of his butt in movies to Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I mean,
Jim Carrey's on my bucket list of people I would like to spend some time talking to. Just because he doesn't do very much.
He doesn't want to do any time with you, though.
No, he doesn't want to do any time.
Were any of his serious movies good, though? Like,
oh, come on now.
What?
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Truman Show.
Truman
Show was good.
What else was he in? He was in. I like the number 23. A lot of people didn't, but he
takes a lot of big creative chances.
Yeah. It's the idea of being obsessed by something, whatever.
Yeah, and don't forget The Man on the Moon.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Doing
Fonzo actually seems like an interesting twist on the whole crime drama Al Capone thing, because it's not, Al Capone.
It's a comedy?
Al Capone at his peak. It's a 47-year-old Al Capone who is now, after 10 years in prison, coming to grips with his violent past and battling dementia. How about that?
I kind of like when I see a Tom Hardy movie, I want to see Tom Hardy.
Like
I'm looking at pictures right now.
You want to physically see. Well,
yes.
I think that's the point Amin was starting with, that Tom Hardy doesn't look like Tom Hardy in this movie.
He looks like an old Al Capone.
I love the idea of Stugotz walking in a movie, and then at the end of it, the credits are rolling and say, "Where was Tom Hardy?"
That had to have happened to people at the end of Tropic Thunder, right?
No, come on.
You don't think that anybody left
No.
that theater not knowing that the jerk executive was Tom Cruise? You don't think? Spoiler alert.
Yeah, no, I think people left the movie. I don't think they were disappointed that they didn't see Tom Cruise, though. I think that was Amin's response.
Yeah,
right?
I thought you were going to say Robert Downey Jr., and I was like, come on. Everybody knew who Robert Downey Jr. was.
You thought I was going to say the Australian black guy. That was clearly Robert Downey Jr., that people left the theater not knowing that was Robert Downey Jr.
I'm the dude playing the dude disguised as another dude.
I thought he should have won an Oscar for that role. I'm not even kidding you.
Was he nominated?
He was nominated.
I thought he should have won the Oscar.
I think he was going up against, was that the same year that Heath Ledger was up? No one was taking it from Heath Ledger that year.
If you die playing a role, man, I guess you gotta kind of get an automatic pass, right?
Guillermo, put it on the poll. If you die in a role, automatic Oscar. Nomination?
It depends on the role. Like Brandon Lee didn't get nominated for The Crow.
Right.
Pee-wee would have died filming Pee-wee's Funhouse.
Look,
He would have
man,
gotten
you guys
an
can
Oscar.
add all the nuance you want to the polls. I'm just trying to put some lighter fluid on what Amin is suggesting.
I'm just telling you right now, if Daniel Day-Lewis dies trying to be a character that he was in a movie, he's winning an Oscar.
He wins
No
him
question.
anyway, right? Doesn't he win him anyway? Because he's such a great actor. He's the actor's actor. So you guys are telling me that if Dustin Hoffman died during during Ishtar, he would have won an Academy Award?
Okay, there's within reason.
Okay, put within reason, Guillermo, parenthetically in the poll question, please.
Just put accept Ishtar.
Yeah.
You had me going with Dustin Hoffman. I was like, yes. He said Ishtar. No.
Robert Downey Jr. was indeed nominated for Best Supporting Actor the same year that Heath Ledger won for The Dark Knight.
Who else was nominated?
Philip Seymour Hoffman for Doubt, Josh Brolin for Milk, and Michael Shannon in Revolutionary Road.
Yeah, if Philip Seymour Hoffman had died a little bit earlier, maybe he would have won that one. How about that?
How about that?
Well, what do you do if Philip Seymour Hoffman had died earlier, Heath Ledger dies when he dies, and then you've got this situation where that year Robert Downey Jr. weirdly also dies? Now where are we?
Oh, wow.
Now what do we do?
It's a three-way tie.
We got to face off.
That's a totally different movie. It's John Travolta and Nick Cage, and they will never die.
I told you guys my Nick Cage story, right? From Vegas?
No.
You were there the day that he was in the blue suit kissing Vince Neil, I believe?
No. I saw him. I was walking through, I want to say Encore. And I was walking this way. He was coming this way with his group and entourage. And I swear to God, first of all, he was dressed in all black with flowing robes. His hair was slicked back. And I swear to God, I'm not making this up. You know how like when people walk, they have a natural gait that causes their head to bob up and down? He just floated by. I'm not making this up. I looked at it and he was.
Is it possible that he was rolling on something?
No.
Is it possible you were?
Washing my nose, oh yeah.
I'm a shower curtain, and I do one thing. Keep water from leaking everywhere. So you see why I feel useless compared to Geico, who does so much more. Like, not only could Geico save you money, but they've been around for over 75 years. And they give you 24/7 access online, over the phone, or on the Geico app. And they've got a 97% customer satisfaction rating. They do all this while I have to listen to this chucklehead. Oh, good, he stopped.
Washing my toes.
Oh, great, an encore.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Don Batard.
Aren't you trying to run a homeless guy out of your cul-de-sac?
Yeah.
You want to tell the people that story?
Stugotz.
There's a homeless guy who is living in our community up in Parkland, and I'm aware of him. I've seen him. I've given him a loaf of French bread, but I don't have the heart to kind of go to any, of the management there and rat him out. I feel bad for him. So my strategy is if I tell enough people, perhaps someone will go to management and get him kicked out. But now he's upgraded, man. He's got like a little scooter. Got a basket on it, so now he just drives around the neighborhood. And I saw him this weekend, and half the loaf of French bread that I gave him a week ago is still there in the basket. I told him to eat it already.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on the ticket.
Guillermo, why are you throwing your head back in the air, howling with laughter?
Just the idea that he doesn't understand a homeless person would need to make bread last for a while and should eat it all at once.
I mean, I didn't want, mold or anything to get on it.
Yeah, you're really concerned about it.
If he finished the French bread, perhaps I would have given him another, some more French bread. Fresh.
Mike Ryan was showing me during the break a video I'd never seen before of Vince Neil and Nicolas Cage sort of wrestling, jostling, but they're angry. People are angry, and they're in what looks like the cliched Las Vegas valet area.
That's the aria, for sure.
No, it is. I'm very familiar with that.
But it doesn't have to be the aria. It looks like all the valets in all of Vegas and all of the casinos in Atlantic City.
Yeah. Paint a more vivid picture. What is Nick Cage wearing? Tell the people. An electric blue suit, perhaps?
No.
Vince Neil was swollen and waddling. There had to be something with addiction going on there, right?
Because they were struggling to keep their balance. So Nick Cage is indeed wearing an electric blue suit. Mm-hmm. And Vince Neil, the video doesn't catch the alleged attack of a woman that was perpetrated by Vince Neil. It just catches the aftermath in which Vince Neil is struggling to gain his balance, goes into the arms of Nick Cage, who caresses him, kisses him on the cheek, says, "I bleeping love you. You gotta quit doing this bleep." I imagine this bleep is hitting women.
Thank you for being a friend.
You know what? I'm not positive that it is, actually. It might be, drug use or the problems that come with addiction. That it might be Nick Cage saying, you've got to get clean.
Right. I thought that at first, and then I realized Nick Cage having his own battle with his own balance, and I realized perhaps that advice would have come better from somebody else.
It also looked like it was the middle of the day. Is that just the Aria lights, or was it the middle of the day?
No, that appeared to be high noon. Which I'm amazed Nick Cage is out in the sunlight.
High Noon coming soon on ESPN.
It's going to be very good.
Yeah, I can't wait.
9 a.m. Pacific.
High Noon will be 9 a.m. Pacific. Bomani Jones and Pablo Torre. We've got an issue here. We've got a problem. What are you laughing about?
The video won't stop playing of Vince Neil.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
The glasses. I like the glasses most of all. It's orange, reddish tint. Not opaque, though. Still transparent somehow.
Guillermo, can you just get me 10 facts about Nicolas Cage? Anything you got?
On.
Just give me 10, at your leisure. I just want to do a top 10 list of odd, Nicolas Cage oddities.
There should be no prep work. Guillermo should just start spitting it out right now.
But I want a top 10. I want you guys to actually craft and cultivate something to explain to people just how odd this is.
Yeah, we're in reruns. We've actually done this 3 times. He wants to be buried inside of a pyramid.
You could get 10 more details.
He once did mushrooms with his cat. He once woke up next to a naked man, no idea how.
He sued Kathleen Turner because she said he stole a dog.
He's a huge deal in China. They legitimately think he's the greatest thespian to ever grace this earth.
God.
They think Stephon Marbury is the greatest thespian is Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
He had 2 teeth pulled for a movie, method style. I believe he stole a Tyrannosaurus Rex skull and had to return it.
He did. I remember that. That was like 6 years ago.
He eats animals based on how they have sex.
Anything shocking?
What do you mean based on how they have sex?
Oh, that was another and finally that we did. He doesn't want to eat an animal that has sex that he considers unpure.
Yeah.
I think he's limited to basically fish.
Yeah.
But my question is one of degrees. Where's the unpure? What's the unpure?
Well, I'll get details on that.
Do swine? I don't even know how these animals have sex. How do pigs have sex?
I think pigs are out specifically because of how they have sex. I have to double check this. He once ate a live cockroach for the vampire's kiss.
No, he eats birds and fish based on how they mate.
Yeah, because he doesn't like the way pigs and cows mate.
How do pigs mate?
That's what I'm asking. I thought of pigs as doing it the way doggy style.
He refuses to eat any living thing that has sex in a way he doesn't find attractive.
Ew. He don't know. He's sitting there and he's watching them and ugh, disgusting.
I hate the way those pigs have sex.
Yeah.
Like he's watching animals have sex regularly, enough to have opinions about how they have
How
sex.
they eat them, right.
No, about how they have sex. Like he's judging. Who are you, Nicolas Cage, to judge?
What do you mean? He's Nicolas Cage.
That's true.
You better back off. What other person have you been in a Vegas casino and all of a sudden they float by in a cage?
Floated, I swear
How many
to
times
God.
has that happened?
I swear to God.
How many
he was
other
floating.
people have done
And
that?
it was fluttering behind him, the cape.
Of course it was.
Yeah, this China thing is legit because in October of 2013, he was named Best Global Actor in Motion Pictures. He was given an award for it. Wow. He was also waterboarded for a scene he did in an animated movie.
Pigs who want to mate, they mark the trees with their urine, and they also produce foamy saliva by champing, okay? And that sends out a signal to the female pigs of his intention to mate. I'm going to start doing that, man.
You're going to start?
Yeah, I'm going to urinate on a tree and just build up a lot of saliva and be like, Abby, I'm ready.
I thought that's how you got Abby. I thought that was part of the courtship, and it's been nothing but a descent into hell since.
He slept in Dracula's castle.
Also, his good friend Jim Carrey offered him a role in Dumb and Dumber, but he couldn't do it because he was doing Leaving Las Vegas.
Wow.
Can you imagine if he were Harry?
Wait a
Two
second.
very different movies. Two very different movies. Nicolas Cage was... Can you imagine if he was Harry?
You know what? I'd love to talk to Lisa Marie Presley because she was married to Michael Jackson and Nicolas Cage.
Whoa.
Yes.
She's had a life.
So the issue that we have around here, the problem, is that Stugotz does these restaurant reservations, and they're excellent. He's batting 1,000 on them. Every time he calls, it's rude, it's shameless, we all cringe, it's funny, he gets the reservation.
It's me.
And he just did one before the show. And because I like to hear them live, to have an organic reaction, I couldn't hear what was happening. All I could hear is the laughter through the doors at everything that was happening. But we've got a problem.
We do. We normally, like, every time we do these, we have to ask for permission at the end. Hey, I don't really need the reservation, but we do need your permission to air this. We can't air it with people who are unknowingly doing a radio bit. And so we have to ask for their permission. And so this one was, we all enjoyed it. We loved it. I don't want to give too much away here. I'll only say that when Mike went to ask a manager or a restaurant owner if we could air today's reservation, they said no. They declined. And so now we're scrambling. We don't know what. Allison is working. The phone's up there.
Yeah,
I told her to get me someone on the phone, and I'll talk to them. We don't know what to do.
They just told Allison no as well. They told Stugotz no. I spoke to the head of PR. They said one person in particular wasn't comfortable with it. I was like, that's fine. The call actually works without that person. And they responded, well, the other person didn't like it too. So I can't really make it work without both people that were involved in the call on the call. It's a real bummer.
They didn't fall for the old, I'm the host of a national radio show, a national TV show.
No.
I know after the fact you didn't do the same line to
I said, listen, we've done this with a number of restaurants. It's great promotion. It's free promotion for you.
On a national basis.
On a national TV and radio show on ESPN. And every restaurant. I don't think any restaurant's ever given us a problem. This is the first restaurant
there have been a handful. We've had a handful, but this was certainly the best one that we're not going to be able to air. And while we were asking for permission, it seemed very impressive because Stugotz had to be pulled away from the phone to do a SportsCenter hit. I mean, how big time is that?
What city was this restaurant located in?
I can't divulge this information. It was Boston.
There you have it.
I'm telling you, man.
Case closed. I got it.
It was a delightful call. It really was. I don't know why they would have an issue. They were great.
I know. Boston, it would seem like a layup for us.
They did. I'm trying to think. I was thinking, did they say anything bad about anyone in Boston? They did not.
No.
They did not.
No.
Well, but it does look bad, Stugotz, for a restaurant that they say they have no reservations and then someone comes on. I'm guessing they feel like they probably did their jobs poorly and they don't want it broadcast nationally. I understand that you view things only through your prism, and so whatever glory and funny and laughs you can get is all that matters here, but they probably feel like they didn't do their jobs very well, saying, because the spoiler alert, he gets, after no reservations were available at noon, he gets 8 for noon.
Come on.
Yeah. It was 12:30, actually. Prime time, baby.
Time.
Yeah. So like they didn't have they said, hey, listen, we have an 11:30 seating, a 1 o'clock seating, a 1:30 seating. I said no, I need 12:30. It flows right into game one, C's and Cavaliers, and like that just I don't know what's going on. So I got, long story short, Dan's right. They had no 12:30s, and I got 8 people at 12:30. So, but this is very disappointing. I don't know what to do. I want to call someone up there, man. I do.
Well, how about we just do a dramatic reenactment? Just where Billy is one of their voices and Chris is another, and you just actually type it out, and it'll be terrible, but it'll be a lot of work.
I love the idea of them transcribing the actual conversation.
Yeah, we'll have that transcribed by Tuesday, no doubt.
No, I was thinking by next Mother's Day. I was thinking it's a bit we can unveil by next Mother's Day.
Sweet. Yeah, it's a real bummer, but I almost don't want to talk about it anymore because there's really no payoff here. Like we simply can't do this without their permission.
I'm going to call and try to talk. I'm going to try to sweet talk off air. Try to sweet talk everyone into letting us in.
You should try again. You seem to be forgetting that you actually tried that once and it didn't work.
I know. I'm going to try again. That's all.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Man, let's take as many hacks as we possibly can.
I think you guys should tape Stugotz trying, because that's going to, and then ask them if they can air that.
This is clearly the way to go about it. Keep badgering the people that want nothing to do with us, because then we'll get our way.
Well, but here's the other thing, though, that I wonder if was it 2 women?
It was actually 3 that we went through the process.
Yeah. Well, Stugotz sometimes he can get close to the line, and so you don't want to be bullying and harassing women into being on air when they don't want to be on air.
Not the plan at all. What I'm hopeful for, because I did not bully them on the phone.
Of course you wouldn't. Right. You wouldn't, but I'm saying that doesn't mean they don't experience it that way, because at this point, like, they're probably pretty embarrassed if they are telling management we don't want to do this.
Right. I guess. But I'm going to call but I'm going to call management and say, listen, you're passing up on free promotion. Like, it's free promotion headed into Mother's Day.
Our impression back here from my conversation with the head of PR over there was the head of PR was putting it on these 2 ladies, but I don't believe that to be accurate. I think it was a PR person doing their job and trying to come off as the good person in the equation.
Hey, I want to do it, but they don't, and I can't put my people through that.
Right.
Full of it.
I need to go higher.
Yes.
Like a general manager or an owner. And just,
by the way, this restaurant, is it a chain?
I mean, that's the only, the owner of the hotel that owns it is the only route we haven't explored. I'm sure you can get
Paris
him or her on the phone easily.
Paris or Nikki on the phone?
I can get him on the phone.
Or my good friend
Or
JW.
her.
Or her. Or GM. Or anyone. I need someone higher than the head of promotions. That's a terrible job by the head of promotions, I must say.
Yeah.
Your job is to promote.
Dropping the ball.
Yeah.
They were sold out. They seem to be doing just fine.
No, they had a 12:30. I mean,
They had a guaranteed 8 who weren't going to be showing up at 12:30 on Sunday.
They're sitting him in some ballroom. Like, it's not even the actual restaurant.
Hey, stop giving away the bit, man.
I was bringing a crew, man.
Can we bleep out all the names and the name of the restaurant and distort their voices?
Ooh.
I was thinking about it, but no. Especially now that we've talked about it this much.
We're on air?
Sorry.
Distorted their voice. I thought this was just the pre-show meeting. Wait, this is on air? Well, we've got an issue, though. What are we going to do?
I mean, right now we're not going to do anything.
No, but all right, Stugotz.
Nope.
I like your reenactment idea. Like some
maybe,
texters to say, maybe it's fake Stu, Guillermo, and he's calling Allison.
Hold on.
Maybe
That's a lot of work.
we can keep the Stu, but maybe we can have the voices portrayed by other voices. Perhaps, Allison can do a voice, and Myra, our makeup lady, can do a great Boston accent.
They can do their voices. That's one option. Yes. Let's, because we don't like the funny to vanish. But I'd also like to hear Stugotz's portion of the conversation for you guys to get him someone higher. I'd like to hear Stugotz going over the head, what that sounds like. Going straight over the head. Listen, your PR people said this, your clerk said this. Your maitre d's said this. Yeah. I don't know why I made them a clerk.
Yeah.
Who can we get? Let's get them a phone. Let's get Stugotz a phone number a phone, dial the number for him, and listen in as he talks to the CEO of whatever place it is that we were trying to get in on Sunday.
What don't you understand about this setup? This is infuriating to me.
Well,
we have to get permission to put people on the air. We can't get the permission after we've already put them on the air. Sometimes no is a no.
I don't think what you are misunderstanding this.
I think Dan was saying off.
I just want
to. Yeah, but how are we going to do that? Because you take 20 minutes to do these things.
This is what I meant, though. What I meant is bring him a telephone number, and we can listen to his portion of the conversation.
Yes, that we can do.
When he's talking to the CEO. So that's what I'm asking you for. In the next segment, I would like to hear Stugotz talking to someone to see if he can persuade that person. I want to see Stugotz go over the head of these people publicly in a way we all can listen to.
Sure.
Thank you.
Dan Batard.
All right, we're going to see whether any of these here can crack Chuck Norris's top 10. Now, your favorite involves the Tyrannosaurus Rex. You want to do yours?
Stugotz.
Yeah, that Chuck Norris was chasing the Tyrannosaurus Rex. The Rex was not chasing the Jeep.
This is the Dan Batard Show with the Stugotz on the ticket.
Once again, we have Amin Elhassan in studio, and he's just part of our nonsense, and we don't actually get to use his basketball expertise. I have a list of basketball things you're into, most of them national topics. But I'm going to do what I'm guilty of as a show, collectively, and not go basketball.
Oh, wow.
What's your problem with how Greg Cody says shrimp?
Whoa. Well, I don't have a problem. Quite the opposite. I love the way he says shrimp. It was just so unexpected, right? Especially in the context of the conversation, which is, I believe it's Chris's wife doesn't eat shrimp.
She's allergic to shellfish.
She's allergic to shrimp. And it's just... Greg is talking about, well, I don't know. He's doing the Greg thing where he's making a lot of excuses for why he's the center of attention. But then out of nowhere, the word shrimp comes out with this unbelievable level of sassiness. Shrimp. Just
again,
swashbuckling.
All right. So again, I want to use basketball expert Amin Elhassan and his time to discuss more things that have nothing to do with basketball. You have beef with our hierarchy of tensions, our escalating totem of tension.
Yeah.
If you guys have that up, could you just read the hierarchy there from top to bottom,
or bottom to top?
Bottom to top.
Top to bottom.
All right. Chicanery.
Wow.
Okay.
Hijinks.
Okay.
Malarkey.
Yeah.
Skullduggery. Shenanigans. Tiff. Spat. Quarrel. Tomfoolery. Skirmish. Fracas. Hullabaloo, ballyhoo, dust up, brouhaha, Armageddon, agree to disagree, gloves off, fisticuffs, kerfuffle, hubbub, hurly-burly, slobberknocker, Donnybrook, riot, war, malice in the palace.
How many of those words were the title of a major motion picture?
I don't remember. I don't remember the blockbuster hit Fracas.
Palace should be.
Yeah, Riot, I'm sure, and War probably. War definitely.
There's not a movie called War.
There's got to be like 85.
That's like saying there's a movie called Action. There is no movie called Action or War.
Have you ever heard of the card game War? I mean, come on.
War. Did they make a motion picture out of it?
War 2007, and that starred Jason Statham, and he was going to war with Jet Li. War 2007, and then there was The War that starred a Elijah Wood as a child who his dad was Kevin Costner, a bit of a bit part, but it was a war between kids, and it was actually quite serious.
1998, Hurly Burly, starring Sean Penn and Kevin Spacey. Ever heard of him?
Wow, hold on. That sounds like a great movie. Anyways, none of those movies approach.
A couple of shorts called Fracas.
Okay. All right. See, all of these are very low-level motion pictures. I said major motion picture. Blockbuster. Summer opening. Go ahead. Say it.
Okay, you just want this to be about Armageddon.
Armageddon. And what was Armageddon about? Like
saving the planet?
A mild disagreement? An agree to disagree, but milder than that? No. It was about the planet is about to end, right? Wow. The planet is about to end. Why? Because there's a meteor heading this way. The only way it's going to stop.
I believe it was an asteroid. Meteors are smaller.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah. What's the conflict there?
Let's agree
Earth
to
versus
disagree on
the
that one.
asteroid? That you can't have...
Armageddon means it's the end of the world.
What was the real beef there? The tension between Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck?
Yeah, he doesn't want him dating his daughter.
But by the end, he does.
He does.
Yeah.
He shoves him out and he says, I'm going to take the L for the whole world.
Yeah. And Liv Tyler...
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, and Liv Tyler doesn't want to close her eyes, doesn't want to fall asleep because she misses him, babe.
Yeah. And she doesn't want to miss a thing. Wait a sec. Is she singing about Bruce Willis in that song?
Meg Ryan was in Hurly Burly, too. It's a good movie.
Hurly Burly?
Wow.
Wait, Hurly Burly
What
2
year?
as in Hurly Burly had a sequel, or Hurly Burly
also.
2 as in
Gary
also?
Shandling. And
Oh.
No, wait a second. Hold on.
Gary Shandling finished that project?
Yeah. Artie.
Wow.
He played Artie.
Was there ever a movie called Malarkey?
Malarkey.
It sounds like a straight-to-DVD release that stars Artie Lang and...
Yes, that does. Tiff.
Tiff.
There was a short called Tiff, not a full-length film.
But it's about a girl named Tiffany.
It is about a girl named Tiffany.
There you go.
It's about the troubled young girl whose life is on a downward spiral. She finds cutting as a means to escape. Ooh, this got dark.
Comedy?
Neil Brennan in that? Neil Brennan in that?
There's multiple projects called Gloves Off also. I mean, what a terrible
Major.
What a terrible way you
No,
came
wait.
into this.
The only one that comes close is Hurly Burly. I'm really surprised and amazed by that one. You tell me there was a movie that came out in the 90s that had Meg Ryan, Sean Penn, Gary Shandling. Who else was in that?
Let me go back. I got off.
Remember, Hurly Burly is actually quite low on our list because Billy Shakespeare described it as one step below all-out war.
Kevin Spacey.
Quite
Kevin
high.
Spacey.
Quite high.
Is it Totem Pole?
I still don't understand this whole totem pole thing. I don't think we're ever meant to, because we just cover all bases.
We do just say both, right?
There's got to be a movie called Spat.
A couple of shorts.
A couple of shorts.
Spat. Couple of shorts, actually. Two.
Kenny Vance, Bob Jimenez.
Lots of shorts on IMDb.
Yeah, I know. What's going on?
Is IMDb one of... everybody visits Google most, obviously, right? What websites do you visit on a sort of routine basis?
First of all, before we get to that, I just want to say IMDb ruined bar conversation. Ruined it.
Why?
Because we used to say things like, so-and-so was the guy in this movie. Like, really? Like, yeah, go back and watch it. And that would be it until you actually went back and watched it. And now people just pull out their phone and blah, blah, blah. No, he wasn't.
Yeah, but that's also Google. That's more Google than IMDb.
No, IMDb.
Stop projecting on IMDb.
No, because like movie conversations dominate barroom.
Hasn't it done that more to sports than it has to even movies? Like the sports argument. Hasn't it, like the fact that you can look something up and put facts on it?
No. The beauty of the sports argument, and Stugotz is living proof of this, is you don't need facts. Like, we were talking about this yesterday on HQ, Dan, about when all's said and done, 40 years from now, people are going to look back and say, wait a second, you guys said that Michael Jordan was better than this LeBron guy, who's clearly number one at every single thing ever. And you're just gonna be like, that's why, man. People are just going to make arguments because.
You don't need to know anything now, like at all, in any facet of life. You don't need to know how to spell. You don't need to know anything about anything.
Pat Sajak told us that. He's like, now we don't have to learn anything. We just have to know how to find it.
My sister's a teacher, and she's like, everything that I give them, they just Google. Like, you don't need to retain any information because you can get the answer in 30 seconds.
I used to know my home phone number. I don't know phone numbers anymore. I don't know anyone's phone number except for my own.
Do you have a landline?
No.
Was that, can we get the sound of that, please? That's Amin deciding while doing a radio show and talking to drink at the same time. That's something that probably happened because last night he did it a little too strong on the drink.
Did anyone recognize you yesterday? Meanwhile, you're out because I had an Amin celebrity moment yesterday with him that was great.
Do not tell this story.
Oh, it was
Do not
so
tell
good.
this story.
I want to hear this story. I got a great one the other day. I'm walking out of here with Chris Whittingham, and some people demand to take a picture with me and Chris Whittingham. Just convinced that Whittingham is Stugotz. So we took the picture. They went home to wherever it is. They went home to wherever it is that they were going, thinking they got a picture with me and Stugotz. They got a picture with me and Chris Whittingham. I never told them anything. I want to hear this story, though.
So yesterday, me and Amin were taping some things that will air later on, and we were walking in the beach, and a guy comes up, sees Amin, he goes, "Hey, oh my God, ESPN!"
That's right.
And then his girlfriend's with him, and she's like, "Who is that?" And he goes, "Oh, he does ESPN. He does the jump. He does around the horn." Because she's like, "What does he do?" Because she saw how or not around the horn, Sports Nation. She saw how excited he was to meet him. So then she said, "Oh, who is he?" He explains to her, and then she goes to him, "Do you know Stephen A?" And then Amin proceeded to take a picture with this shirtless Jack dude while the girlfriend was super confused by who he was.
The problem is all that conversation happened after the photo. The dude was so excited to take a picture with me, not excited enough to know what my name was, though.
And it sent you careening, hitting the bottle hard.
Yeah. Well, no, then he had to defend his celebrity, and the guy was because the guy felt bad for Amin after what the girlfriend did. So she's like, "Do you know Stephen A?" And the guy's like, "Man, bleep Stephen A." Just to, make Amin feel better by the position he was put in.
He did. I wish he was making any of this up.
You want to get some basketball knowledge from him, Mike?
What else
basketball knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's plenty of time for that later on. I have an update on the Boston area establishment. So Stugotz is working the phones right now. I don't know his update, but we are But Allison reached out to one of the people in question who actually saw Stugotz on television after the call, and that might help us. So we're a little bit more hopeful. We're making inroads.
Wait, did they not believe that we were lying?
I mean, it's possible. Yeah. It is a fairly ridiculous experience to be on the receiving end of, I got to imagine. Yeah. You realize how these things have gone in the past. He's an insane person. It sounds like someone's calling you from the loony bin.
Here's my main concern right now. We've built this thing up so big. Is the call even that good?
It's probably 2 out of 4 stars.
It'll work. It's not going to be that good.
I don't know. In trouble. In fact, we should really edit it down.
Yeah. What's going to happen now is whatever work Allison's doing in the positive, Stugotz is completely
undoing.
Undone.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
That's correct. Allison is going to be this close to getting them on air. Stugotz is going to get us hit with a subpoena.
Should I yank him off? Because we are making inroads.
He's not going to help.
Yeah, maybe I should.
I want to listen into what he's doing. Have him come in here. And just have his end of the conversation on air.
This is amazing. This is a national radio show you guys do here. And this is the producing we're doing. Hey, Stugotz is on the phone. Have him just walk into a room full of microphones and then walk out.
Are we certain he's even on the phone? Perhaps he just went up to a hotel room and just took a quick little cat nap.
Playing the back nine.
Well, I'm guessing that he's probably doing something that he doesn't want the Security and Exchanges Commission to get a whiff of. I'm guessing that that's what he's been doing the last 10 minutes or so. That's always a Ponzi scheme, something, some sort of arrangement. I'll tell you one of the things that he could be doing. Actually, we should do that show. What is Stugotz doing? Because it's not listening, right? It's not finishing a deal, but it's talking about all the ideas and all the deals he's going to make.
I can't seem to track him down. He's on some sort of power walk on this phone.
By the way, he said get a whiff of what he's doing. Speaking of whiffs, that guy farted hard on his way out the studio yesterday.
So like bad. 50% sure it wasn't just a fart.
Oh, no.
He was that afraid. That was legitimate fear from him.
I mean, part of the issue in these tight quarters, I'm watching it back. Ron was blocking a shot that I wish the world had, because my view was transfixed on Stugotz's face, and he was using the microphone as a shield, not caring about consequences. It's very expensive equipment, and he was deathly afraid. It was like a life or death situation for him. It was fight or flight, and he was flighting.
Yeah, it wasn't like a shield. He was using it like a bayonet, just stabbing away, at all comers. Like, Get away.
No concern for open containers of coffee or water bottles. No regard for human life, really. He cursed.
When Ron threw the cricket at him later in the show, he literally dove like a soccer goalie. Like, there was a penalty kick, and he dove. He didn't duck out of the way.
But I thought you guys wanted to talk about not the fight or flight, but the fart and dart. I thought that's the thing you guys wanted to talk about, because that's how he punctuated the show. He farted in fear and left behind an actual stink. And he ran.
That's his defense mechanism.
He's like a skunk.
Yeah.
He's like a skunk. I mean, that's what happened, because everyone was laughing. I'm looking at let me, if you were not listening, paint the picture for you of what happened. 6'6" Ron McGill comes in here. And many of you might not know this, but Stugotz is an actual little person. So 6'6" Ron McGill is in here, and he's got these roaches, and he's got these crickets, and Stugotz is afraid of all of it. Terrified, terror on his face, legitimate, shirtless at some point, not acting in any way. The guys are throwing confetti at him, telling him that he's got a cockroaches on his shoulder. He's going crazy. And at the very end of the show, last 4 seconds, right before the hard net workout, fart and dart. He farts in fear and then runs out of the studio.
There's a chance of a repeat of that today, because like when Stugotz came in, there was a cricket on his seat. Like, there's still crickets in that room.
So he said he found a dead cricket on his seat, and he thinks it's just because there are crickets everywhere. I have a conspiracy theory that you guys planted that. Somebody in here planted that.
Yes, line.
I have a phone call. Maybe I might have an update here on.
Can we hear your end of it?
Well, Billy just answered. Billy, are we making more inroads?
I don't know.
Who are we calling? It's Allison? Oh boy.
Where is Stugotz? Where is the scam king?
I'm sure if I look outside, he's just taking a huge drag off a cigarette or something. Should we put Allison on the air and tell her that she's on the air? No. Okay, so there's a very serious negotiation going on.
Billy was wagging the Matumbo wag.
To approve it?
I mean, how does Boston beat Cleveland? What needs to happen?
Well, they need to, oddly enough, take the same tack that they took to Philadelphia, which is, we're going to let LeBron be LeBron. You can't stop him from being LeBron, but we can stop these other guys. And to be honest with you, I think they actually match up pretty well. When you look at Al Horford, he's the kind of guy that gives Kevin Love problems, because he can be out there and guard out to the three-point line, but also the thing that Kevin Love got to do against Toronto, which was post up smaller people and slider people and all these things, he can't do that to Al Horford. You know, Embiid couldn't post up Al Horford. He was out there blocking Embiid shots. So, if you're Boston, you have to take away that 3-point line. The J.R. Smiths, the Kyle Korvers, Kevin Loves, you can't allow them to get off. Because again, focusing your efforts into stopping LeBron is a futile effort.
I think we're going to be able to air this call.
Wow.
I think.
But we have no clue what Stugotz is doing on the other end.
Right now, without knowing what Stugotz is up to, I think we're going to be able to air this call at 9:52. I think we can do it. We'll see when he gets back.
Allison's good, man.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
we've been working hard on this one. We should start editing that.
Oh yeah,
let's get to work.
This is what Allison is the kind human representation for this show that goes out there and fixes things on our behalf. We're just a bunch of farters and darters. And she goes in there with the disinfectant and cleans it all up after we've departed. That's what happens every time.
We put her in such bad spots.
Oh, so bad. So bad. Like, Allison's entire life is just sort of getting berated by publicists.
She hates us.
We should put her on the therapy
I spoke to her on the
couch.
phone yesterday. I can verify.